This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome back, Adepts, Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And we are here to finally bring you the final part of the Path of the Open Hand. Finally, final part. We did take a week off yesterday. There was put out a Robots Radio Summer Special, so if you haven't listened to it, please go listen to that and, let us know what games you're excited for. Yes, we did talk about Zero Company on said podcast, or on that one episode, so stay tuned because we will be doing a deep dive of all the info that we have for Zero Company, and yes, there's a lot here in the next week, so stay tuned for that if you want to hear more about Zero Company, because me and Dojo are super pumped for this game. I'm so finally happy we're actually getting a legit XCOM Star Wars game.
All I want from this game
is
for it to give me a
percentiles
95%
be actually
yes
to actually work.
95% chance. Okay, bam, bam, bam. Miss. Mother.
Yeah, XCOM
I rage quit XCOM.
Yeah, but with that though, you don't have to mod XCOM anymore.
Well, you can if you want to.
You can if you still want to, but we're gonna get an actual Star Wars game made by BitReactor. That's all I need in life. That's great. And it's set during the Clone Wars. So that's another great thing about it, is it's not in the Galactic Civil War for finally. It's a game actually not set after the prequels. It's during the prequels.
It wouldn't be bad to be set during the
No, I'm not saying
Empire
it wouldn't be bad to have it during the Galactic Civil War or even the sequel trilogy.
It would fit.
But it would
fit in the Rebel.
It fits so much better with the Clone Wars because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And you have all these different factions. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into the Path of the Open Hand. So we're still going into the Phase 2 stuff with the Path. So things though do take a turn for I wouldn't say worst. I would say more towards the dark side.
That is worse.
Okay, worse. Turn for the worse. Sure, why not? So Marta Rowe presented her idea to represent the Path on Jeddah to the Council of Elders, the Herald, and the Mother, even including that it would be a way for Yana to stay with the Path. During the meeting, the Mother held the egg, which all the others thought would be a jewel, in the pillow in her lap and stroked it ominously, because that's not creepy. The council and the Mother rejected Marta's idea, explaining that Jeddah would be a distraction from the Path. One council member was also concerned that two Everniri, such as Marta and Yana, a species which had a notorious reputation in the galaxy, would stand out in a place like Jeddah.
Yeah,
think they're not wrong.
Yeah, the Everniri have sort of like bad luck attached to them.
Yeah,
if I
think
remember
of
correctly, or
so in
warlike.
D&D terms, they're essentially drows, like a drow, like dark elves
Yeah,
ish. I mean, like if you look up the Evernary, that's what they look like, is dark elves.
kind of. Kind of. I would.
Tell me
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
yeah, yeah. I guess.
It's more of a bluish gray tint rather than
Yeah,
just like
but they don't. But their eyes are like black, like a shark.
yeah, that's fair.
So.
So, even though the Herald expressed that he thought it was a good idea, and Ro insists that she could guide the path on Jeddah despite distractions and noise, the mother told her that they didn't want any path presence on Jeddah, and her decision was final. However, Marta noticed that the mother was acting on her own wants, not the forces or the path, but was attempted to rationalize it as simply a misspoken word.
Because manipulators never do that.
So it's kind of like she's now, taking it to more personally here. So the mother's decision was likely because of her secret activity via the thieves and other minor agents on Jeddah. Later, Yana Ro and the rest of the children were given a new mission, which would be Yana's last. The mother sent them to the planet of Thege? Thelj? Thege? It's Thelj. Yeah. To an artifact called Jedi Tears from the Graf family compound on the planet Sunshine Dobbs, flying them there on his ship. Ship. Sorry.
Slip of the tongue.
Oopsies. However, the mother had alerted the Grafs and the children's arrival on the intent for the clan to kill them. The children were ambushed, all but Yana were killed by the Graf forces and security. Yana, not having lost her girlfriend, Cor Ploth, who is one of the children killed, confronted Dobbs. He agreed that to take Burrow back to the Path compound on Dalna so she could meet with the mother about the incident. Yeah, things are going to get real bad real quick here soon.
Were the Grafs the bad guys?
Well,
I
the
think
Grafs
so.
are one of the two hyperspace.
Major hyperspace prospecting families.
Thank you. Yes. The
I'm
other
trying to
is
remember.
the
There's
Centecas.
Centecas. Yeah, I
Was the
think
other one. Grafs and Centecas were the two major ones.
Yeah, I mean, neither one was all that good in a sense, but I think
No.
one was way
you're
worse.
Grafs were worse than Centeca.
Yeah.
So Marta and Zink eventually decided just to be friends due to the Jedi's no attachment rule, and the two said their goodbyes when Marta said that she had not been allowed to leave yet. He lamented how strange it was that over all the days that he never gotten to meet the mother, but Marta just suggested that the Force had kept them apart. No, that's the mother being intentional. After she left, Master Marcy and Zink staked out the shipport to see if the Path and the Mother were smuggling items to Dolna, but they only saw Yana and Dobbs come return to the ship dock from their mission. The two Jedi decided they were going to go into the Path compound searching for the caves that night. Yeah.
Now, here I have a problem with that. One, you're not notifying your local Jedi enclave what you're doing. And two,
Well, there's
once
not. I
again,
didn't think there was one on Dolna.
not Donna. Sort of like, I guess, the closest.
Probably in the sector.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Second, this is the second time we've seen Jedi breaking and entering into a place with no cause.
Well,
All they had was suspicion. That was it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like there's a police force. They don't need hard evidence. They're a peacekeeping group.
It is when they're representative of the Republic.
But they're not. They're still separate from the Republic at this point.
They're still getting money from the Republic, though.
Oh, well, yeah. They always have, and always will. So Marta met Yana before she could reach the mother or the elders. Curious as to how the mission went, Yana explained that the mother had betrayed her and the children had gotten Core killed, so she could get new children that didn't ask many questions. She insisted that the mother was a grifter and a liar and wasn't truly following the Force. Marta helped Yana wash up, but refused to believe Yana and maintain her faith in the mother and in the Force. However, Yana managed to convince her to leave with her after she confronted the mother, despite Marta's faith not wavering.
Brainwash.
Marta's a heavily brainwashed. She is so into this cult. So when Yana went down to the caves to speak with the mother, she discovered the Jedi Master Marcy and Padawan Zink inside the mother's listening room, Marcy holding the Rod of Seasons. Marcy asked her what other artifacts had been stolen, but Yana told her that they were trespassing and needed to leave. And then the mother arrived, sharing Yana's sentiment, and told them that they were liberated the artifact while warning them after their abuses of the Force would cause a reckoning. Sure. It's not like you're stealing artifacts yourself and selling them on the black market. So Marcy declared that they were taking all the artifacts, with them and bringing the mother into custody, but she refused to pick up with her jewel, quote unquote, because it's not a jewel. The Herald and her retainers arrived and attacked and shot the Jedi. Marcy and Zink quickly gained the upper hand, Marcy managing to disarm most of them until the mother screamed and dropped the egg, which burst open and produced a newborn member of the nameless species that the mother would name the Leveler. The creature flung at Marcy and clung to her arm, turning her into a stone-like husk and thus killing her.
Now, I'm guessing the mother screamed and dropped the egg because the Nameless was about to hatch, and these things feed on the Force. And the mother was, in fact, Force sensitive. Not very highly sensitive, but still Force sensitive enough for Level to feed on her.
Correct. That is correct. And these things are like four-legged Cthulhu-looking
dogs.
Dog things. They're freaking creepy. They're terrifying looking, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They are not good looking at all. Very Cthulhu-like though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So the Leveler reached for Zink's neck, briefly grabbing his leg before he kicked it off and ran out of the chamber. The mother declared that the Force had given them a gift and had protected them, while Yana grabbed the Rod of Seasons in a flurry. The Herald then asked her about her mission, Yana telling him that she didn't secure the artifact and they needed to talk. Yeah, that's a difficult talk to have now that you have a freaking Force-eating creature with you.
Now, if I remember correctly, Yana's girlfriend, I can't remember her name, was the Herald's own daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, she died. She did.
So... And I don't think he knows his daughter's dead yet. At this point.
No, I don't think so. Pretty sure. So then Marta prepared to leave Donna behind and travel the galaxy with Yana, saying goodbye to the Kesserin family and that she had befriended, and saying that she might be back. While she did, however, she heard a strange scraping sound that she followed into the tunnels until she found an injured Kevmo Zink who kneeled over and could barely speak. He managed to tell her that what was happening to him was related to the Force, and that the mother had done it before his body turned into the same stone-like husk that his master had been turned into. Marta took his lightsaber and descended deeper into the path's caves, her heart broken.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Things get dark.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it only gets darker from here.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, see, phase 1 was... towards the end of phase 1, it got real dark. Phase 2 is just dark. And then phase 3 is even darker. Things get bad.
Well, so, it gets a little lighter, but it gets depressing at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So meanwhile, Yana revealed to the Herald that the mother had conspired with the Sunshine Dobbs and that had killed his daughter, Kor. She suggested they kill the mother before the creature grew stronger and more Jedi arrived, warning them that they would since Zink had run off and her creature couldn't stop the entire Jedi Order. The mother agreed with Yana that they could not protect themselves there on Donna and decided that it was time for them to go into the Gaze Electric and leave the planet.
Time to skedaddle. We got 2 Jedi. Let's go. Pack it up. Let's move,
Yep.
move.
2 Jedi are dead. We need to leave. So the elders then arrived, having heard much noise, and the mother told them that the leveler was a miracle the Force had given them that she had seen in a vision. Sunshine Dobbs told them that she could get many more of the creatures from her planet in wild space and raise an army of them for the path. The Herald also told the elders that they were going to begin their transition to the Gaze Electric immediately, adding that the leveler needed time to grow away from the enemies, and then it could be a match for the Jedi and the path would carry on.
Well, to be fair, it was a match for the Jedi. The levelers are a match.
Spoiler. Yes, they are. All of this overwhelmed Yana, who was shocked that the Herald did not care much more about his daughter's death, and that he and the mother seemed to be in some sort of struggle for power over the path. She started to leave, and the leveler followed after her, attracted to the Rod of Seasons that she held. She quickly hid the rod, and the others did not realize that she had it. So when she followed her, the Herald declared her its champion. Yana accepted the duty and said that the Force had chosen her, hoping that she would eventually get to see the mother's death.
Yeah. I think Yana and the Herald sort of form a loose alliance against the mother at this point, because the mother was secretly not happy that the leveler chose Yana. Although I don't know if she knew about the rod or not, but
probably not. I'm assuming not. I'm pretty sure she didn't. So Marta then arrived and saw the scene, including the calcified Master Marcy. The mother told her that their use of the Force had brought the Jedi's death, and claimed the leveler was an agent of the Force. Marta believed her and said that they needed to stop all that abused the Force. She also told her that they would be taking the Gaze Electric. The mother deciding that Marta would be the path's guide, and Marta realizing they needed to go to Jeddah. Yeah, things are going to get even worse. Later on the Gaze Electric, somewhere in space, the mother asked Dobbs about there being another rod like the Rod of Seasons, and she confirmed that the Rod of Daybreak was on Jeddah, but was in a vault controlled by the Jedi and very inaccessible. The mother suggested that they could do anything with the leveler and told Dobbs to go to Jeddah and prepare for an arrival by telling everyone who they were and alerting them that they would not be stopped. So, chaos. It's exactly what this is. Pure chaos. So, meanwhile, Yana spoke with the Herald, and the two mourned Kor's together. They both decided that they needed to avenge her by bidding their time until they could take the mother down and make her pay, refusing to accept her exploitation of the Force for her personal gain. She also told her to corral her cousin, since her belief and guidance was so strong that the entire path would follow her. Yana then later saw Marta, who the mother had been allowing to have more leadership. Yeah, she gets more powerful by the day.
Yeah, this is why you got the two people in charge pitting two cousins against each other at this point. Because you got the Herald and Yana trying to plot against the mother, and now the mother is trying to use Marta to gain even more control over the people.
Yep. So then she claimed changed her face paint to no longer be the 3 wavy blue lines across the forehead, but 3 lines down her face and over her eyes. She explained that she no longer wore them as a gentle symbol, but as one that cut through her eyes and illuminated the truth of the Force. Marta said that it was a new day for the path because they were in the stars and because of the leveler, and that she could not be caught unaware again, resolving to serve the Force and make it free. Sure. So that's exactly. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, and so now you're slowly seeing the alteration of the symbol slowly becoming
The
uh,
the lightning
the lightning that the
Nihil
what's the
use.
pirate Nihil use
Mm-hmm.
eventually. So
Yep. So with that being said, let's take a quick mid break, thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
Visible puts the ultimate wireless hack in the palm of your hand. With unlimited 5G wireless data and hotspot designed to keep you connected, powered by Verizon's 5G network. And no contract holding you back. Plans start at $25 a month, or get the premium Visible Plus Pro plan and save $10 on your first month when you use promo code HACK. Make the switch at Visible.com. Terms apply. See Visible.com for details.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats, VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
All right. Welcome to the Miller Show. We're talking about everything on podcast. Has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all our amazing listeners and patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words, or a nice Spotify comment. Yeah, I can't talk today. So, when's that new? But you can leave us nice comments on Spotify and Apple. We'll read out the next time on the show, which we do have one on Spotify from Vader's Iron Fist asking, can you play SWTOR on mobile yet? No. It is a online MMO only, and they will never add it to other platforms.
Unlike
sucks.
FF14, FF14, which added mobile, but only to China for some reason.
Well, there's that, but the FF, like Final Fantasy 14 and mobile is a completely different game style than what we have on console and PC. So
that tells the same story, though.
There's some differences.
How do you know? Have you played it?
No, I've read articles on it. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, sadly, SWTOR will never go to mobile. I love to have it on console, but it will never will because it's an old game. And, I mean, if they do ever add it to other consoles, if they ever have the ability to, please, Broadsword, please do that. I would say BioWare, but BioWare is not in charge of it anymore, and I think that might be a good thing. BioWare is not the greatest anymore.
Well, they started off strong with it.
They did start off strong, and then if you played their last game that came out, not that great.
What was their last game? I can't remember.
Dragon Age Veilguard, which was a freaking flop.
That's their latest game?
Yeah.
Really?
That's I'm aware of. They're working on Mass Effect 5. The next Mass Effect, but God knows when we actually get info and any release date on that. And Veilguard flopped because EA doesn't give a damn about Dragon Age, which is that's a whole different conversation. Go listen to the Dragon Age Lorecast.
Well, the game they released before that was Anthem.
We don't talk about it. Well, Anthem started good, and then they just dropped all support within like 6 months.
What was Shadow Realms?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No. Funnily enough, Shadow Realms only happened because of the dub.
Yes, no, yeah. Little fun fact to everybody. The Shadow Realm in Yu-Gi-Oh! Did not exist in the sub. It's only a dub thing because in sub, people just die. You're just dead. You go to hell. It's literally the Shadow Realm is hell, so you die. A lot of things were cut out in the dubbed version of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the early days of things, censorship and stuff. There's a lot of weapons and there's a lot of firearms in Yu-Gi-Oh! That you don't see.
Yeah, Bandit Keith threatening Pegasus with his finger.
Yep.
That
Or
was funny.
there's two of Pegasus henchmen trying to get Kaiba, and they're like pointing their fingers at him, clearly in a shape to where it was like their finger was over a trigger.
Yeah. So anyway,
Arcana. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole thing. That's a whole. I can go on and on about Yu-Gi-Oh. But. You can find us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Band of Friends Podcast and Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Dragon Ball Lorecast, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizard World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. And you can check out those Discords in the show notes below, because the links are permanent now, so they don't have timers on them. Yeah.
You need to start taking a breath in between all your shows there at some point. Like halfway through.
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's good practice for voiceover. It's great. And then news-wise, as of today of recording on the 23rd, there's gameplay of Galactic Racer, which looks amazing. And yes, they showed pod racing, and it looks so good.
For those confused, it's a mixture of speeders and pod racing.
Yeah, there's speeder bikes, land speeders, and pod racers.
Yeah. So it looks like pod racing will be probably towards the end of the game as like the elite circuit.
I feel like it'd be the opposite. I feel like pod racing is going to be the start, and then speeder and land speeder will be the towards the latter half.
No, because
that's what I feel
in
like.
the universe, they say pod racing is one of the most dangerous sports there is. So I have a feeling you have to build up from speeders to land speeders and then to pod racing. Yeah, sort of like you have your various
I can see that because
English
with
football
the oh yeah, and I literally just binged all of Ted Lasso. Yes, it's by the way, great series. If no one's watched it, really good series. There's 3 seasons. There's a season 4 coming out later this year, which is actually really good. I was really happy because where they ended season 3 was a big giant like, oh, this could end the entire series, and they could just walk away. Anyway. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a demo, maybe, or a beta. I doubt it. Well, we could get a beta. There's going to be multiplayer. So, who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, though, let's get back into more of the Path of the Open Hand. So, things now go for a, very violent turn.
Well, it starts off all right. Then it takes a turn. But
Does it though? Does it start all right? I don't think so. So after the mother, go on.
Starts off instantly enough.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Then it
like
gets
this.
turned dark.
So after the mother secretly engineered the Battle of Jeddah. Yes, she engineered it. To disrupt the peace between Aram and Arano, the Path used the sudden fighting on Jeddah as a proof of its beliefs. Members of the Path allege that the Jedi Order's use of the Force has been balanced out in reopening of the war. The Path also unleashed the Leveler into the streets of Jeddah. After the battle, the Path returned to Dona, where the Path prepared for a coming battle instead of returning to a life of farming. As such, crops were left to rot where they stood. Yeah.
Yeah, so for those don't know, I think we covered it in a previous episode, but a quick recap is that the Path tried to get on the Force Council. And the Council is like, yeah, no, get the hell off. And the Council is made up of various Force users, sects.
Mm-hmm.
Sects.
Correct.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like, yeah, no, get out.
SECT. Sex.
Yeah, and the Herald proclaimed in the street in front of the council chambers, this and that. And then all of a sudden, someone let loose the leveler in the street, and that just caused chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, people died. Um, so the Jedi connected the violence on Jeddah to the Path, with news of the Path's involvement spreading across the stars, to which the Mother responded by claiming that the Herald alone was to blame. The incident also served as a reopened war between Aram and Arano, just as the Mother wished. In failing to end the war, the Jedi and the Republic had seamlessly only brought about more strife. All the while, the conflict would generate chaos for the Path that could use for its benefits. While a large degree of the Path sentiment was encountered firsthand by Marta Rowe due to the violence on Jeddah, the cult still had allies on Dona.
No, it didn't. No, they didn't. They
That's
had
a
no
lie.
allies. The locals on Dona was sick and tired of the Path at this point. They
Yep.
actually joined the Jedi in fighting the Path.
Yeah, which we're about to get to. So, in the Battle of Dona, the Path reorganized into the Path of the Closed Fist, warred with the Jedi and anti-Path Donans, just like that. For the battle, the Path was aided by Enforcer droids and Nameless, collected from Marta Rowe and Dobbs' mission to Planet X. The Nameless, however, preyed upon the Jedi and Force sensitive Path members alike, even if those Path members did not even know they had a connection to it, or, per their beliefs, refused to use it. Encountering the husk remains of the Path members, Marta initially tried to convince herself they were active Force sensitives hiding in plain sight who deserved their fate. Even deep down, she was horrified by what she had unleashed. Yeah, you kind of unleashed, your own downfall to an extent.
At some point, I wonder when she lost control of all of this.
Having a Nameless to begin with. Done. So meanwhile, the Mother sent Littles of Bulan and Utarl out with thermal detonators to supposedly drop rocks upon the Jedi, although she actually intended to destroy the Path alike. With that, she would have an apparent disturbance created for the Jedi to become a tragic figure. When Marta learned of the Mother's actions from Yana and Bulan, who escaped into the night repeating the Path mantra, Marta officially turned on the woman she had once idolized.
Finally!
Yeah. Because she's a B word. Alright, so the Enforcer droids eventually began cutting down Path members and Jedis alike, while the Elders abandoned the Closed Fist in the name of the Path of the Open Hand. Marta, meanwhile, killed a Nameless head that nearly feasted upon Otar, and with the Herald attacked the Mother, who killed the Herald but was captured by the Jedi. Marta then wiped out the Nameless with the Mother's explosives, but the Leveler managed to survive. The battle ended with the arrival of the united militaries of Aram and Arano, who put down the Path's remaining forces, and the explosion set off by Marta, which inadvertently collapsed the entire cave network.
Yeah, so Aram and Arano finally got their acts together and realized that it was the Path who reopened the war. It was like, oh, let's go get those assholes. Let's go get them.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
And by the, do you have it here? I forgot to check. Yeah, Yoda was on the planet during this battle and was aware of the Nameless, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. So after the battle, Marta executed the Mother for her lies and use of the Force by ordering the Leveler against her. She managed to escape Dona with the Leveler and the Rod of Seasons aboard the Gaze Electric, from which she began a new plan to free the Force. Meanwhile, Yana made out the Rod of Daybreak, which she kept hidden from Marta upon realizing her cousin would not abandon the Path's ways. Because she's nuts, a psychopath.
She's nuts.
Yep. So in the aftermath of the Battle of Dona, remembered by the Dolnids as the Night of Sorrow, intelligence that came to Jedi Master Solandra Sho established that the Path was dissolved. According to what Sho learned, the remnants of the Path that were not taken into custody by the Jedi Order returned to the Gaze Electric, which then vanished into hyperspace. Fel Ix, who had been on a mission for the Mother before being held prisoner by the Jedi Padawan Rupert Nitani and Sky Graf in Das Lafbrook reunited with his family on Batu. The family then intended to travel to Atalia, where Fel X lived before joining the path.
There we go with Batu again. They're really trying to wedge in that planet everywhere they go.
Well, I mean, it is part of the parks, and you can actually go to it theoretically, so, and be in your own galaxy. So yeah, I may or may not have gone there twice, and it's what like amazing experience to be there. I definitely need to go back when they
split the park.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
But what we mean by that is that one half of the park is going to be set in the sequel era, and the other half is going to be set in the Galactic Empire. Yeah,
the original time or the original trilogy era. So there's also like a little portion where there's going to be like the Mandoverse stuff, like in
probably
like,
some alcove.
It's going to be in close to the main street of Batu. Where like the marketplace is, where all the shops are at, is where you're going to see a lot of the Mandoverse stuff. So, all right, so moving on. Eventually, the Path of the Open Hand split into many descendant groups, with one being the Elders of the Path, a group that showed the Path's beliefs and using the Force was wrong, and resided on Triment 4 in 232 BBY. Thormac, who is one of the Path of the Open Hand's littles in 382 BBY, was a member of the Elders of the Path's Council of Elders around 332 BBY.
By the way, these guys were still a-holes by this time.
Oh yeah, they were a bunch of
Jedis came to investigate them since they were, part of the Open Hand way back then, and they told the Jedis to F off.
Pretty much.
Get out of here.
And then, according to members of the Elders Order, the Nihil Marauder group was grown out of their order before being cut out. Indeed, the Nihil were guided by members of the Rowe family, descendants of Marta Rowe. A few former Path of the Open Hand members, such as Aulia, who had joined Marta's efforts. Marta made it clear that her new organization was not to be a religion, however. Well, became worse. And then when Kufa, a member of the Rowe family, reunited with her cousin, the Eye of the Nihil, Marchand Rowe, on Ralston on 231 BBY, she remained on remarked that he was returning to the path by meeting with her. Her ship that she had arrived in shared a name with the cult, being named the Open Hand. He was there with the hope of retrieving the Great Leveler, which was now frozen in the ice in the shrine beneath Golamarin, having been brought there by the ancestors long ago. When he asked, she said that there weren't many of the faithful yet left, which she said apparently due to the prominence and strength of the Jedi.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that leveler got frozen in ice and managed to survive.
I'd imagine Marta probably threw it in ice just so that because she didn't want to attract attention anymore. I would assume.
Maybe.
I don't know. She reaffirmed the belief of her and the faithful of the Jedi, that the Jedi were guiding them to their destruction, telling them that they had been known on Jedha and on Dona, but also admitted defeat and said the Jedi could no longer be stopped. She asked if he was there to bring them hope and reopen the hand by delivering the message. He insisted that he was not a prophet, but she said that the best prophets found the path by being lost. The fallen Jedi Alzin Aril believed the path of the Open Hand lived on, though he just called the Nihil instead and referred it to the Nihil as the path. The Jedi Knight Reith Silas was unsure if it was the affliction, or if it was some deep insight of that Rill had.
Yeah, Rill had a nasty encounter with a leveler that left him scarred.
Mm-hmm.
he teared out his own eyes. I mean, it was sort of like meeting Cthulhu, but you survived
Yep,
type
pretty
of
much.
experience.
It was bad. It was real bad.
And by the way, uh, but she said that the best prophets found the path by being lost. All I could think of at that point was the life of Brian. I'm not the Messiah. He's the Messiah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mother Tunanep was a late follower of the path who, at the age that exceeded 150 years old, still practiced its teaching during the Clone Wars. In Rage from 22 BBY and 19 BBY, the war pitted the Republic against the Confederacy of Independent Systems, and the Jedi called into action as the frontline leaders of the newly established Republic military. Tuning up to believe the Jedi were at fault for the war and that they should be eradicated for the Force to be free. She also thought her faith to Jeshakor, who had rescued after the Battle of, Almotania.
Close enough.
Sure. And eventually,
To be fair,
go on.
to be fair, the Jedi were not the cause of that war.
No.
It was Sidious who was the cause of that war.
AKA a Sith. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So eventually, Tunanep and Nakor made their way to Coruscant, just as Marta Rowe had intended for her closed fist. But Tunanep was killed during the Separatist sudden siege of the planet in 19 BBY. Shortly thereafter, however, the Jedi Order would be all but destroyed with the execution of Order 66 and the beginning of the Great Jedi Purge. In the aftermath, Kor encountered the surviving Jedi Padawan Ryza Ars, whom she thought to be poison.
Oh, jeez. Look at the picture they have for that.
Gee, oh God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not terrifying.
Looks like one of the younglings that Anakin was in
Almost
the
about
Jedi
to kill?
Council. Yeah. Jesus.
Dear God. Okay. That's not terrifying. All right. And then a little bit behind the scenes. So the Path Through the Open Hand cult was created for Phase 2 of the Star Wars The High Republic Multimedia Project. The cult made its first appearance in the 2022 young adult novel The High Republic Path of Deceit, but was first referenced in the 2021 novel The High Republic The Rising Storm as the Faithful and simply The Path. Artist Grant Griffin did several rounds of artwork for the Force cult characters. Yeah. There you go.
Oh.
That is the Path of the Open Hand, everyone.
Yep.
A bunch of a-holes.
So, this was a cult that was very much isolated, wasn't bothering anyone. And we didn't mention this in the show notes there, but the mother was a sister of a Jedi.
Yep.
The Jedi came, evaluated the two sisters, took one, left the other, who later become the mother, and this entire plan was just out of spite because her sister was picked and not her.
She was a petty bitch.
Yes. Now you use the word. Now you use the word.
Yeah, because this is towards the end of the show. But yeah, she was a petty bitch. Yeah, that's terrible. First off, don't do that. Don't be petty. Just live life as is. That's all you need to do, people. Also, yeah, this group sucks. Mm-hmm. They're terrible, and what they become later is even worse.
Yeah. Well, like I said in the beginning, what they initially were was fine. You know, they were isolated. They were doing their own thing. They weren't bothering anybody, essentially.
No.
And then when the mother got there, things changed for the worse.
Yep, she started using them, manipulating them, you know, using child labor to steal and like get artifacts to sell on the black market. Yeah.
Child soldiers, suicide bombers.
Yeah, oh God, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off? Oh, okay.
This is where I turn on Yoda because of this, like one of the last books in this phase 2. Yoda was aware of this group at the end of Phase 2. He was aware of the Nameless. He and another Jedi were going to investigate both of these things. The one Jedi eventually died on a mission. Yoda has no excuse. Either it was dementia, old age setting in, but he had 100 years to investigate this group and did nothing. Nothing.
That we know of, but yes.
No, I mean, as in, he didn't investigate the Nameless, he didn't investigate the Path, did nothing. In my opinion, Yoda is the worst Jedi Master ever. 100 years to investigate this, does nothing.
Or plot hole.
Nope. Worst Jedi ever.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree. All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
To Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic.